Now, one of the things I've talked about that prevents you from seeing is your habits, your habitual ways of acting, your habitual ways of seeing the world. If you are habitually seeing the world through the eyes of a three-dimensional creature, and you actually live in an infinite dimensional place, universe, capital U. You think when you look out at the stars, and the physicist is talking about infinity, you think of the physical universe. Okay. Now, let me give you an example of something. Okay. I've given you many hints, many breadcrumbs along the way. To look in a linear motion like this, that doesn't mean there is no end to it. It just means the number is so big it makes no sense. That's what infinity in that sense means. What we have to think about, and here's the hint, it does not just go this way through time-space, but right here out of time-space. Right here. Right here, out of the three-dimensional world. It can yell, it can scream, it can set your pants on fire, it can do everything, but if you don't pay any attention to it, you won't see it. If you don't pay any attention to it because you are habituated to a certain kind of thought pattern. If you are habituated to that certain kind of thought pattern, and that thought pattern is disturbing to you, you will never know peace because it is disturbing to you. You say, well, this is what I want. I have the right to think this. Of course you do. But you also pay the price of that. And that's okay. That's okay. If that's what you want, that's all right. But the moment you rise out of that, you become like a PhD living in a world of second graders. You see what the answer is. You see what the problem is. So now you have to make peace with where you are in relationship to the second graders. What do you want to do? So another decision. Another decision that will make you rise. Now, let's hear this platform. What we're talking about, for lack of a better word, is becoming your natural self. And your natural self is, for lack of a better word, God itself. Without the parameters that you think you are. God does not have those. What it really is does not have those parameters, does not have those fences. It understands its own self, its own being. So, the greatest peace, the greatest love, the greatest understanding comes from there, that place, which is you. Not some place out here, or not some level of thing. Here's the deal. We come into a physical universe, and that physical universe has certain rules. We learn to live by those rules, but now one of the things, a strange thing happens on the way. We develop societies. We develop into social creatures. And in developing into social creatures, we develop ways in which we can survive together. Out of that comes business. We just screwed up. Not really with business, but the attitude of money, 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 rich, rich, rich at all costs. We live in a world that continually tells us that stuff is important. Well, stuff has its place. Okay? So what we develop is a mindset, not just about stuff, but the mindset is limited. we begin to treat our consciousness like stuff. We begin to pull everything into us. See, as you rise in consciousness, you see this is of secondary importance. The societal things are of secondary importance. They're only rules that you live by so that you can survive. It's like the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments are only rules to live by. Okay? Thou shalt have no other God before me. Okay? Depends on your interpretation of God. Your interpretation of that word. What does that word mean? As I have said it to you, it is about you, so you should have nobody above you. Okay? The real you. The real you, not the persona. Okay? If you want to get along with your neighbor, don't covet his wife or his ass. Don't covet his stuff. So it's just rules to get along with in society. The natural laws within you, when you come above these things, certain things you just don't do because it's a part of your being. So, if those things that happen, insecurity, doubt, fear, greed, anger, all these things are indicating that they circle a black hole that has to do with societal rules, with form rules. So anytime you see that you are doing that, you recognize, I'm being angry, I'm doing this out of insecurity, I'm doing this out of fear, I'm doing this out of greed. Know that your center is not of spirit, but your center is of the other side, of form. Know that. Know that because you have all the indicators. All the indicators are there. Now, here's what we call the hard part of this whole thing. We don't want to admit what we do. See, in this process, you have to really want to know because you really have to call yourself to task. You have to really want to know, or you're at a point in your life where you are so low that you're ready to die, and you're really willing to ask the right question and receive the right answer. 2 requirements for this course. Simple as that. You have to hurt so bad that you're willing to give up all that you thought you know for the truth. You have to hurt that badly. Okay? But here's what some of us will do, most of us will do. We begin to hurt badly, we begin to strike out at the rest of the world. Now, one of the things I've said to you, you hurt as badly as you hurt because of you and not because of someone else. Because of you and not because of someone else. You want to hit somebody, you want to fight somebody, you want to blow up the world, you want to break in a house and shoot up kids, women, everybody. It's not because of them, it's because of the way you are dealing with the things inside of you. It has nothing to do with them. See, that's the hard part of saying, wait a minute. This is in me. Now let me do my technique so that I understand the mechanism. See, this is why study is important. Because you have to understand that there's a base, there's a mechanism, and I've described this base to you. So that when you come to that point, you make the decision to do the technique so that you position yourself to see the action of that habitual or that biomechanical thing. so that you can let go. You can choose to let go. Choose. But if you don't choose to let go, it won't go away. There is no magic pill. This is not a magic pill. It is a positioning of a human being so that they can use their intelligence. Real intelligence. In terms of intelligence, I want you to think about something else I've said. There's a difference between thinking and having thoughts. We have to learn the difference. We have to learn the difference inside of ourselves. See, this is about no one or anything else except the individual. One of the things that I look at religions, I don't really have anything against them. It's just that they don't say, hey, look, you have to do this. Here's how you can do this.